Now, as governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cadoso resumed duties today. The Nigerian stampede for dollars showed no sign of abating on Friday. This clearly will set part of the agenda for the incoming leadership of Nigeria's apex bank. The currency has been quoted at 992 naira per dollar by street traders, according to the Ford Marketing Bureau d'Echange Limited, which complies the data. That compares with 900 naira at the start of the month and is some 30% below its official Thursday close of 772 naira 98 kobo on the FMDQ trading platform. Back in June, the official and parallel market rates had converged, galvanized by newly elected President Bola Tinubu's reform pledges. To help us understand this development, we are joined by Akinduyite, Associate Director, Tax and Regulatory Services, PwC Nigeria. Thank you for giving us your time. The acting CBN...
Good evening, viewers.
Good evening. Good to have you again. The acting CBN governor and his deputies resumed duties today, and already they have their work cut out for them as their resumption coincides with the continual depreciation of the Naira. What drastic measures should they adopt on a short term to stabilize it?
It's really a difficult moment, considering the direction to which we see the further devaluation of the Naira. Well, I would expect that they'll do whatever they can to try to establish some level of stability, improve the supply end, and try to encourage us to look inward. Consume what we produce and produce what will have affinity to consume. So that way we could also curtail the demand end of forex. I think the job at the end of the day goes beyond just the CBN. It's the job for all Nigerians, and of course, more importantly, for the leadership of the country. So those MDAs that have responsibility for delivering additional dollars basically need to do whatever they can to improve the supply, and they so we need to address the issues in these areas.
Yeah, Nigeria's finance minister is saying it's collective work. He has blamed He has recently blamed the $6.8 billion of overdue forward payments in the foreign exchange markets as responsible. Do you agree with his assertion?
Well, not entirely. Maybe it might be contributory, but overall, we've seen a gradual decline in the supply of, in our ability to earn forex. Like I did mention, 90% or thereabouts of our FX earnings come from the oil and gas industry, and that's an industry that seems to have been struggling for a couple of years. We have issues of insecurity. We have issues of crude theft. We have issues of funding gaps. We have issues of not having sufficient investment. So clearly, as a country, we're not even meeting our OPEC quota at the moment. So that limits our ability to earn forex. But at the same time, from a consumption point of view, from a demand point of view, we still spend a lot of our forex on importing fuel, right? So even with the limited generation of forex that can then feed into the supply end, the demand continues to grow. I did mention about fuel importation, about all sorts of other things that we then spend forex on vacation, likely because of the level of insecurity in the country. People are not able to travel locally, so a lot of people prefer to travel abroad. So every time you go abroad, replace demand and strain on the limited dollars that we have.
Are
So about
speculators posing or causing
yeah,
more harm to the system, or it's just the cost of demand and supply?
well, speculators may be playing a role, but a lot of it is also likely to be coming from the normal demand and supply. Supply, is expected for a country with the number of people over 200 million people with the size of our GDP. But at the same time, demand also continues to mount. You just look at the numbers are very, are available to support, some of these positions. If you look at how much we spend as a country to fund foreign education, to fund the healthcare, to import food items that ordinarily should be growing locally. It just tells you that it's not surprising that the Naira seems challenged at the moment. So we just need to basically change the trajectory, and the narrative will also change.
There's another angle to this. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria say that the government's disregard for the productive sector is to blame for the 285 billion naira annual fall in Nigeria's raw material exports. And according to a National Bureau of Statistics examination of foreign trade statistics, exports of raw materials decreased to $345.5 billion in the first half of 2023. That's from 630.5 billion during the same period in the previous year. Could the cost of manufacturing in Nigeria be blamed too, or it's just government policies?
Well, the reduction seems quite significant, almost close to 50%. And why do we have such a sharp reduction? Is it because we now have the capacity to convert those raw materials to finished goods? I'm not sure that answer will be yes, because products were not really, there's not been any significant improvement in our productive capacity. So it's likely to be that even the production of those raw materials, we're struggling to maintain the same level of production. And understandably so, due to some of the geopolitical risk, the level of insecurity in the country, and a couple of other factors that have made, production of a number of those raw materials, quite challenging. So I tend to agree with the position put forward by the Manufacturers Association, and we clearly need to find a way to fix all these issues. So if you're not even able to export raw materials to generate forex, which could have helped in the supply end and helped to stabilize Naira, and we're not improving and developing additional capacity to add value to those raw materials so that we can even increase our earning capacity. So clearly, it's really a bit of a difficult situation we found ourselves as a country.
It all seems interconnected somehow. It's all hands on deck, like you said. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me.